we're heading to France for this next one. AS Monaco and PSG. Monaco plus 210 at home. The draw is plus 275. PSG plus 120. You don't normally see PSG in a League One game where they are plus money. But we mentioned on Tuesday's show, and Bryan, I'm going to go to you on this one, is the fact that Mbappe is out. Messi and Neymar played in that Coupe de France, but they have a game on Tuesday, leg one of Champions League against Bayern Munich, a big game, an 8-point lead already in the league. Is this another one where they rest these guys in advance? We've seen teams rest players in advance of their Champions League games. Is this a game where we see them rested, or is this just push the button on PSG and take them no matter what, Bryan?
Well, look, obviously it's a terrible spot for PSG. Anyone can figure that out. They come off the loss yesterday, and then, as you mentioned, Carm, they've got Champions League on deck against Bayern. But it's not like the market is unaware of that. As you just pointed out, very rare to see that plus next to their price in a league match. And, you know, looking at the WagerTalk odds screen, the price has definitely moved. And that actually gives me some pause on fading them here. No matter the sport, I'm not too keen on fading top-tier sides, no matter the situation, when it actually looks like the market is undervaluing them. And something that stuck out to me when breaking this down, Monaco's bottom 5 in the league in expected goals allowed at home. The only sides below them in that regard, all bottom of the table, all bottom 6 teams. So as I mentioned on Tuesday's show, you can almost always count on PSG to score. They've scored in 26 of 28 competitive matches this season. They're the highest scoring team in the league, virtually all situations. So if Monaco is to take advantage of this spot, guys, and win, it's going to take some goals to do so. No doubt about that. Lucky for them, or, you know, just maybe it's just skill. Monaco, they've got the second most goals scored in the league this season with 48. PSG's at 54. And since the World Cup break, guys, Monaco has scored in every match. They put multiple goals on the board 6 different times. The only 2 times all season in competitive play they failed to score were it was in Europa League action. So I'm on the over here, over 3. If you're afraid of pushing on that number, I have seen shops like FanDuel have it juiced up 2.5. It's around minus 150 if that's in your tolerance. But I do like the over here at 3. Carm.
All right, it's Bryan Power of WagerTalk.com. Pavlos, he mentioned the goals. Ben Yedder's having a good season, 12 goals scored. They have won their last 2 league matches at home against PSG, but can they make it 3 in a row? You have to figure they've scored 3 in both of those, 3-2 a couple years back, and then last season a 3-0 win over PSG. You got to figure they need to find the back of the net at least a couple times to beat PSG in this one. What are your thoughts?
Well, this is a very tricky match. As you guys said, PSG have a match against Bayern Munich on Tuesday, while Monaco, they also have a Europa League match, but that's on Thursday, and they're against a theoretically easier side, which is Bayer Leverkusen. So starting with that, I'm just going to say that PSG, they kind of struggled after the World Cup break, and that's very natural because they had a lot of players play in the World Cup. They played over a month in different situations. So it's and now without Mbappe, they're struggling. They just lost, as you guys said, to Marseille. They struggled to beat Toulouse in their previous match. They even struggled to beat Montpellier. Of course, they had a couple of disallowed goals, a missed penalty kick. So all things considered, I don't think this is a very good period for PSG. However, I'm going to take an alternative approach here. I'm going to take the first half Monaco on the pick 'em line at plus 100, even money. Monaco, they, after the break, they have 5 wins and 3 draws in first halves, and three wins and 1 draw at home. PSG, after the break, in first halves on the road, they have 1 win, 5 draws, and 1 loss. They're really struggling without Mbappe, and he's going to be absent. Now, they do get some offensive punch from guys like Sergio Ramos, who scored the goal against Marseille and had a couple of good looks, but he was also the guy that considered a penalty kick. So all things considered, I think this is going to be a very cagey first match. I see Monaco not losing because they've only lost just 2 first halves at home. They have 3 wins, 5 draws, and 2 losses, while all season PSG, these are 2 very, very high-scoring sides, especially in first halves. Monaco at home and PSG on the road. There might be some goals in the first half, but I just don't see Monaco losing. I think they're going to take a very safe approach. I think they can cut the passing lanes. With PSG without Mbappe is like a downgrade. Okay, they do have Neymar and Neymar and Messi and all kinds of players, but they seem to be struggling right now. And I think that Monaco, they can at least hold out for the first half. So I like Monaco in the first half, pick 'em line, even money.